All right, check this out. Because you say in order for it to work, if he sends the National Guard here, he, the people that are in office, they have to talk to each other. They have to come up with a plan together that they're going to continue to implement so that it can continue to stay down.
Mm-hmm.
But the Safety Act out here in Chicago, you get cashless bail, all this stuff, right? So, and you also get, here it is, Brandon Johnson specifically signing orders against the police officers working with the National Guard.
Executive order signed by Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. Now, this afternoon, he detailed the plan as President Trump threatens to send federal forces to Chicago. Our Randy Dillenhall has more on the plan set forth by the mayor.
Well, tonight on social media, President Trump posting a warning to Illinois as leaders here in Chicago are preparing for the unprecedented.
We do not want to see tanks in our streets. We do not want to see families ripped apart.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson vowing pushback against White House plans to send ICE agents or even National Guard troops into Chicago. Taking a page from Trump and signing this executive order, largely symbolic, requiring federal agents wear body cameras and uniforms and show their faces, declaring Chicago police will remain locally controlled.
We may see militarized immigration enforcement. We may also see National Guard troops. This president continues to go well beyond the bounds of the Constitution.
Trump citing crime in Chicago, pointing to 6 homicides last weekend, even as killings are down about 30% this year. Writing on Truth Social, the weak and pathetic governor of Illinois just said he doesn't need help in preventing crime. He is crazy. He better straighten it out fast, or we're coming.
They're just looking to invade the city of Chicago. This is a part of his plan to do something really nefarious, which is to interfere with elections in 2026. He wants to have troops on the ground.
The operation could be based out of North Chicago. Naval Station Great Lakes is set to host federal ICE and Homeland Security agents. It's unclear if the National Guard will join, and using the Guard for domestic crime could be unconstitutional.
He cannot use the National Guard to enforce immigration law because in order to federalize the National Guard, there has to be an insurrection or we must be under some kind of invasion or rebellion in order to justify that.
Well, Chicago officials say there is no emergency here. If the immigration raids were to start next week, they could coincide with the Mexican Independence Day celebrations here in the city. Reporting down.
So I had another link that I wanted to pull up. Think to that. What are your thoughts at all about that while I pull this other thing up?
My thoughts is like, on both sides, it'd be like smoke and mirrors. Like, bro, it ain't gonna be no fucking tanks on the streets. Like you say, tanks on the streets. It ain't gonna be no fucking tanks on the streets, bro. Come on, man. Now, other thing too, I would go from the other side too. Like, ICE agents is out here doing motherfuckers dirty. Like, for real, for real. Like, you need to get that under control too.
Yeah, they just killed somebody.
See what I'm saying?
They just killed somebody on Friday. I believe it was Friday right there. Now, they shot somebody in Illinois. I don't think they were supposed to have weapons. They pulled somebody over and shot somebody right there in Franklin Park on Manheim. On Scott, you know what, Mom, I'm sure y'all might be both familiar with Scott. Scott and Grand. Just
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just past the Jewel, just east of the Jewel, right there in Franklin Park. Yeah, they end up killing somebody over there.
See what I'm saying?
ICE did.
See what I'm saying? It got to be some regulations, and that's what I'm talking about. Because, like, they out here really doing motherfuckers dirty. And with the way that they're, like, pulling people over and, like, demanding this, demanding that with no guidelines in place of what you should and should not be doing, what you can and cannot do. It's like they just got their own rules and they make them up as they go. And that's the thing of why a lot of people buck back, because if we got a set of rules, rules are meant for everybody to follow, no matter who you are. If it's only one particular people got to follow rules, then it's going to be chaos like it is. So if we got the rules and we got the Constitution, everybody should be following this, no matter if you like it or not. So that's what I look at it with that. But like I say, he probably going overboard and like over exaggerating of what's going to happen. But at the same time, you got to do that to bring awareness to it. And also, the ICE agents is out here really doing motherfuckers dirty and shit, though. It's a way that you do everything. And I understand that it's illegals out here. You know, they're trying to get all the illegals and all that stuff. But I thought it was procedures and protocols of how you should be doing things.
Yeah, I think real quick, I just think that I personally don't want to see troops on the ground because it causes the division between the troops and actual the citizens of America, right? You don't want to see that. That's something that you don't want to see in your community and stuff. And a lot of people are commenting that and again, a lot of people don't even live in Chicago, so it's easier to say, well, man, they should have it over there, but you don't live here. You see what I'm saying? If you don't live here, what you commenting for? Really, that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm a resident of the motherfucker, right? And I may be affected because I stay, down the street from that, certain kind of areas. I mean, I go when I come home at night, I drive through rougher areas. And then, like I said previously before on the podcast, is if they're only here for a certain period of time, and Maul just said it, what other plans, what action plans are you putting in place to help curtail the violence after you leave? Right? Like, what else are we doing to help curtail the violence after the troops leave? So, and in regards to ICE, I think the only issue with regards to ICE is that when initially, from what I remember, they were trying to get like actual convicted criminals here in Illinois. They were actually trying to get convicted criminals to send back, and it was pushed back with that. And to me, it shouldn't be no pushback for as far as convicted criminals. You need to be going back. You did some shit here, you need to go the fuck back. Right? So I didn't have a problem with that. Now, when it came to I guess everyday working, illegals, you might be able to get them a pass or whatever. Just hopefully they don't, they just stay out the way, basically. Right? I'm not finna go looking for you, but stay out the way. But when it comes to the criminals, the grapists, you know what I'm saying, people who've been involved in murder, you got to go the fuck back to the crib, man. You got to go back home. And Illinois, it was crazy because Illinois is like, no, we're not letting them go. And Chicago's like, no, what the fuck are you harboring them for? People who committed crimes. Why are you harboring illegal criminals? Like for real, that makes no sense. So, that's just kind of my thoughts. And that's what, as far as ICE and all that.
Yeah. Before you go, Space, I want to piggyback on a lot of stuff Jerry Day said because I'm agreeing with him with like a lot of that stuff he said. Like he said, people don't think things through because they didn't think this through of how this is going to really affect people. Because some of the illegals work a lot of these jobs and building a lot of these homes, gardening a lot of these gardens, picking a lot of these strawberries, doing a lot of these things, and you're snatching the stuff away from them and doing all that stuff. And it's fucking up the community. I mean, it's fucking up the economy. People not really thinking about what they're doing or how they're doing it. I think it should have been more of a plan in place of how you go about this than to just straight say, on January 20th, we going to get them and we going to boot. And like it's militarized and like everything is militarized. And it's just going straight off the forbidden path. It's like, bro, we want them gone. But it's like, is it a way that you do this and a way that you not do this?
I want to know what that way is,
but
because a lot of people say that, right? I hear a lot of people say the sharecroppers we're gonna be missing sharecroppers, and we don't have anybody to pick our grapes. Pick your own grapes.
But that's a job for somebody.
Give the job to Americans.
But Americans don't want to do it.
Okay, then that's
the plan though. So the plan, real quick, just to kind of interject a little bit. So as far as from what I'm hearing, as far as the food stamp program, right? So you got to accumulate 20 hours to qualify for the food stamp program. So it seems as if this may be something where, okay, if you get rid of some illegals, then you know what? There's a job opportunity if you want to qualify for the food stamp program. You can get your 20 hours there, but you got to do some work. Well, you're hungry, ain't you? Shit.
Yeah, but it's like you say how you're gonna do it. It is a way if you get a team together and quit just acting like, oh, I'm gonna do this and that's it. No, that's what your team is for. We don't just do nothing just to be doing it off the bat. We got to sit down and we got to talk about it because somebody might have a better idea and we might bring all our heads together to see how we can do this and make it more efficient. You can't just go off just your emotion because now you're acting emotional just because you just ran off the forbidden path because it's a problem and you're like, oh, I'm going to fix this problem and I'm going to fix it right now. It don't work like that. Shouldn't life work like that. You can't just fix something just at the drop of a dime. It takes steps. It takes precautions. It takes a process. You can't. Okay, so name me one thing, Spaces, that you can just fix at the drop of a dime just by doing some shit. Because this show ain't working. We up here discussing all this shit when we shouldn't be discussing it. Because if you knew you was going to be president or whatnot like that, and you knew this what you wanted to do, you should have had a plan in place to how you do it.
I think it's a lot of pushback. The issue is it's not really bipartisan. So they're both extremes, right? So you got the Trump and what he has going on. He's being extreme, and then on the opposite end, you got different governors of these states, and obviously the mayors of these different cities. They're being extreme where they don't want to work together because you can't consistently have people coming over your borders. Right? I don't give a fuck how much taxes they're paying. They're not paying enough taxes that it's helping out where, you know what I mean? Because they still got to use medical. They still got to be, you know what I'm saying? They still got to be housed. There's a lot of things that they're taking advantage of the system on. I don't give a fuck how much taxes they're paying. They're not paying taxes. Yeah, do they pay taxes? Sure. But are they paying taxes like that? Well, when you go down there to, you know what I'm saying, to Cook County, are they paying enough taxes to, I don't know. I just think that they need to work. They need to do a better job of working together.
And that's all I'm saying. That's my biggest point right there. It's just need to work together and not just do something just because you and your feelings and you trying to appease some people or appease a base or appease anybody. I don't even want, because I don't want to put it on like a right and a left thing. I'm thinking about an issue about American people of how you should be going about doing things. You can't just snap.
These people aren't Americans.
Huh?
These people aren't Americans.
But they're still fucking up American things. I know they're not Americans. I'm not saying that they should be here. All I'm saying is it's a way you do things. And this not the way you should be doing it.
Sending them back to where they came from? I'm confused. Sending them back to where they came from?
It's the way they going about sending the people back to how they going. Like how ICE agents are in the streets just doing what the fuck they want to do and how they want to do it.
But what about the process is do you disagree with? They just
I just said it, of how ICE agents are doing what they're doing.
What about, you said how they're doing what they're doing? What about
they just killed somebody?
But
so that's okay.
What's the context of that situation?
But they just killed somebody.
That was in response to them being attacked.
Well, they were pulling. No, first of all, they weren't supposed to pull nobody over. That's not ICE's job to pull nobody over. They supposed to have a list of who they're going after. So you're just not supposed to even be pulling people over.
All I'm saying is it's a way that you should be doing things.
Let's see here.
I can agree with what you're doing and how you're doing it, and I know they don't supposed to be here, but there's ways to go about it. We got a constitution for no reason. So we can just wipe our ass with the constitution so we can just do what we want to do?
The constitution applies to American people. They're not American.
So you can just do whatever fuck you want to do with them then. They're not human?
Send them back home. They
but you are you studying now? I understand what you're coming from, and I agree with you, Spaces. I agree with you. But you just can't do people how you want to do them and not treat them like regular human beings still though. Come on now, bro.
You're still not answering the question. What about the process and what they're doing is inhumane? Because I don't see nothing outside of this one situation that I'm about to show the video of that Jay Everyday mentioned about the one guy getting shot. I ain't heard nothing about nobody constantly getting beat up or jumped. I've seen people like if they get one person, like just like with humans, if a police officer has, let's go with a minor example. A police officer pulls you over. You're one person in the car. Police officers calling backup, even though you're just one person. Do I see ICE agents when they arrest these people? There's a bunch of ICE agents on one or two or a few people. Yes, but I don't see them punching people. I don't see them beating people with nightsticks or constantly shooting or doing anything violent to people. They grabbing them and sending them home.
Okay, you're right. Because evidently we got two different algorithms. Well, I'm seeing stuff and you seeing stuff, and you're seeing stuff that's going to go argue with your argument. So I'm not going to keep arguing, going back and forth with that. You're right. I see. I'm cool. Go ahead and show your video, bro.
So, well, I got a couple, but I'll show this one since we're on this particular subject.
The man was shot and killed during an immigration traffic stop in Chicago today, and the deadly encounter was captured on surveillance video. This comes as the Trump administration announced Operation Midway Blitz, which Homeland Security officials say targets undocumented immigrants in Illinois with criminal records.
KTLA's John Finolio joining us live. He's in the newsroom with the latest on this. John?
Sandra, Micah, that's right. Surveillance cameras captured this deadly encounter. It shows the moments the man tried to get away from ICE officers before he was shot and killed. ICE says he was in the country illegally and had a history of reckless driving. But new reporting suggests his past may have only included a few traffic violations. Immigrant rights advocates say ICE's aggressive tactics are terrifying Hispanic communities.
Surveillance video shows the moment ICE officers pull over a man in a Chicago suburb Friday morning. Officers approach the car on either side. Then one of them appears to try and open the front passenger door. The man then reverses as the officer on the driver's side appears to hang onto the car as it begins to pull away, prompting one of the officers to open fire. At least 2 gunshots are heard as the car accelerates. The Department of Homeland Security alleges the man resisted arrest and attempted to drive into officers, dragging one of them a significant distance. DHS says the officer feared for his life and shot the man. Witness photos show ICE officers tending to the mortally wounded man, who was later pronounced dead at a local hospital. He's been identified as 38-year-old Silverio Villegas Gonzalez from Mexico. DHS describing Villegas Gonzalez as a, quote, criminal illegal alien, who was the subject of a targeted operation. KTLA's sister station, WGN, reports that according to court records, Villegas Gonzalez's only prior cases have been for traffic violations, including driving on an expired license, operating an uninsured vehicle, and speeding. The deadly incident comes as ICE ramps up immigration enforcement operations in the Chicago area in what the agency calls Operation Midway Blitz.
And the reality is that ICE is endangering the community with these tactics. They are indiscriminately targeting people, Latinos specifically, based on their race and ethnicity.
Meantime, President Trump announcing today he's deploying the National Guard to Memphis to curb violent crime. The president says he has the support of Tennessee's Republican governor. Memphis's Democratic mayor says he did not ask for the Guard and doesn't believe it's the way to drive down crime.
In a statement, ICE says that officer in Chicago followed his training and used appropriate force. The agency says the officer who was dragged suffered severe injuries, but is in stable condition. In the newsroom, John Finolio, KTLA 5 News.
Okay, let's see. OG said they took millions from SNAP, Medicaid, and military overreach. OG said sending them somewhere, not necessarily home. How do we know? Hey, they ain't here no more. You ain't my problem no more. So is that the situation we're talking about, Jay, every day?
Yeah, that's it.
Now, I 100% agree with the both of you when you say the ICE and federal government need to work together with the local government, but the local government isn't from what I'm seeing from multiple different local governments in multiple different areas. They're specifically Brandon Johnson signing orders to not work with ICE, to not work with them at all. Let me see.
Yeah, this situation though it's definitely wild. Again, you're not supposed to be pulling cars over, so you already in the wrong.
And then motherfucker talking about they fear for their life. Let go of the car.
Let go of the car.
Like, what the fuck are we talking about? And that's the same thing that they do to us. That's why I'm so mad, because this shit can easily be us, bro. This the same exact shit that they do to us, and when they pull us over, this is the same exact shit. Talking about I fear for my life. When you could have, like, if the man ain't got no gun and he's just trying to drive away, all right, we'll catch you later. We're not gonna go endanger everybody else around here because we're trying to catch you.
They do the same thing with Americans, like you just said.
Right, but
And I'm just telling you that that's not right. That's what I just said. It's not right.
It is a part of their practice to respond that way when that situation happens.
They're not supposed to pull anybody over. They're not supposed to do that.
That I don't know that one way or the other.
They said no, they're not, and they said they were looking for a person with a criminal history. He clearly didn't have the criminal history. That's what I'm saying. Go get the criminals. Get the criminals. You know what I'm saying? Start there. Because now it's a loss of life at the end of the day. Because to me, I don't know, it's kind of almost heartless to be like, well, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You tried to take off on the ICE agents. I mean, damn, do it gotta end with somebody dying?
We always say this non-violent
You're on the side of the car, dude. Move.
What exactly? Let go of the fucking car and move.
You trying to open up the door? You don't know who the fuck this is.
So according to the quick Googles, ICE can pull you over. Yes, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, can pull you over on the road, and you are required to stop if officers visibly identify themselves and signal you to pull over with lights or sirens.
In Illinois? I thought in Illinois they had different jurisdictions because they weren't supposed to have guns either.
I don't know. Like,
I'm just saying, treat motherfuckers like they're human beings, because this shit can easily flip, bro. That's all I'm saying. This shit can easily flip. Easily flip. And I don't want to see like you say, I don't want to see nobody get hurt. If you're illegal, whatever, it's still like a human life at the end of the day. I know I might say it wasn't me, and I know I say I don't care a lot, but it's still a life loss. Like, I don't know the dude, it's not going to affect my day, but it's still a life loss and it's still a life gone.
I agree with that.
Because he had traffic violations.
Because I mean, back when I recall specifically when we were talking about the Austin Metcalf, Carmelo Anthony situation, I forget which one of you two said it was, but you said ninjas die every day, B.
Oh, that's definitely me. I say that niggas do die.
Okay, yeah.
I
Okay.
stand on that. I stand on that because that was aggression. Aggression. That's different. That's aggression.
Possibly. Okay, hold up. Let me run this video back.
Well, we're not finna watch no. You talking about the video? What?
No, the one. I'm playing it back for myself because.
Okay.
Let me see. Go ahead. Were you about to say something?
No. I'm cool. It's just that, like we say, unless we start coming to some common ground, even with us three right now, we can't even come to a common ground and be like, treat motherfuckers decently and treat motherfuckers with respect and all that other stuff. If they're not being violent to you, if they're not having no guns and stuff like that, just treat a motherfucker with respect. You feel me? Don't, because like, dog, you got to be honest. When motherfuckers law enforcement, sometimes motherfuckers be getting out their body and talking like they crazy. And that's only because they got their fucking uniform on and they got a badge on. You're at work. Act like you at work. Act professional.
Under specific and limited circumstances, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agents can pull you over in Illinois. However, they cannot conduct routine traffic stops for violations like speeding. ICE jurisdiction is limited to enforcing federal immigration laws, not state and local traffic laws. So what was he doing at the time?
What I don't understand the question. You talking about the person that got pulled over?
Yeah, the person that got killed. Yeah.
Driving?
Right. They can't do that.
We read that again?
Under specific and limited circumstances, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agents can pull you over in Illinois. However, they cannot conduct routine traffic stops for violations like speedings because ICE's jurisdiction is limited to enforcing federal immigration laws, not state and local traffic laws.
But they didn't put. If someone were to ask me, I would say he got pulled over for immigration reasons, not traffic reasons.
They literally had said that he didn't have a.
Oh, shit.
They literally said he did.
Places.
I mean, they literally said, like in the video that you said, that he didn't have a criminal history. It was some basic traffic violations.
Well, if he's a suspected illegal, then it's already presumed to be a criminal.
Okay, but not according to what I just read here. They can't do that. That's what I'm saying.
Now, one of the things that I was, and we can, you know,
we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed the conversation, so I understand it. But so one of the things I was thinking about while I was watching this video.
Surveillance video shows the moment ICE officers pull over a man in a Chicago suburb Friday morning. Officers approach the car on either side. Then one of them appears to try and open the front passenger door. The man then reverses as the officer on the
Now, notice, and I'll be beating a dead horse at this point, but while this person, if you don't have anything to hide, then why are you speeding off? Why are you trying to get away? But second of all, the agent on the other side, there's another car behind him.
On the driver's side appears to hang onto the car as it begins to pull away, prompting one of the officers to open.
But yeah, specifically, this is like the idea of working with local government, working with ICE that I wanted to show, because I've been wanting to talk about this for like 2 weeks now. Let me share this screen. All right. Yeah, here. Oh.
This is a project that builds on the months of preparation that we have done, that has led up to this very moment. Protecting Chicago will ensure that every Chicagoan knows their rights, that every single family is prepared, and every part of city government is directed to protect the people of Chicago from federal action.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson said the order would keep Chicago Police Department from collaborating with National Guard troops or federal agents should President Trump deploy them, as he has done in Los Angeles and Washington. Chicago police will not conduct traffic stops, checkpoints to help with immigration enforcement according to the order. The mayor said he has received credible reports that troops should come to Chicago, the third largest city in the U.S., within days. He's specifically signing legislation to not work with ICE and federal agents. I don't know how. Like they already said that they're not willing to talk. So what else? What could happen? Like what collaboration could happen? But so great conversation, guys. All right. So this is something Jerry Day sent to us a while back.